Hello everybody, welcome to Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics. This is Cyrus, and you may be watching this video shortly after the live stream event I did, which was cut in half. So it was supposed to go an hour. I was disconnected in the middle of it, and YouTube had no technology to notify me. So I just kept talking and answering questions without realizing I had been disconnected. Now my internet connection almost never disconnects where I am now. It doesn't even make any sense that this would happen at that time. And I felt a little bit just ticked off by it, because I'd gone into a long I've gone into like this long essay about the alignment, the cosmic alignment, if the stars have any destiny on mankind's progression. And I was talking about this and talking about the nature of free will, and that humanity is ultimately in charge of its own destiny. And I was talking about all this interesting stuff, and this whole time I didn't realize that I was disconnected. And it's like, why would I get disconnected then? Is there some negative, entity going around and being like, ooh, I don't want this information getting out there. Let's just sneak in there real quick and unplug this guy's internet. Anyway, the point is that the live stream was cut off. There are other questions I wanted to get to. So if you want to do that again, please keep an eye out, and I will do the live stream event next time, maybe in a few days. And if you didn't get to have your question answered in that short 25 minutes that I was up, just go ahead and come back again if that's possible, and we'll go again and we'll talk more. I'll answer more questions. So anyway, I want to talk about that subject now, since it was cut off, and since I still have it on my mind, and it concerns the question, which was, did the alignment of Jupiter and Saturn on the 21st of December change humanity's progress? Are we more evolved, more spiritual, and all that kind of thing? And as I was just referencing, so I don't always believe that this type of thing is true. I probably part ways with David Wilcock a bit. I think what's happening is we are seeing a shift happening on the planet, which is ultimately a self-directing shift, just like we talk about the law of free will when it comes to our experiences in worlds beyond this one. An entity cannot force us to reincarnate, or we cannot be judged and condemned to hell by something that puts us into a place we don't want to be. We actually have the ability to control all of that, as long as we don't play into the games of, for example, negative entities or things that do not have our best interests in mind. That said, given the law of free will, it also correlates with our destiny as mankind. What I see happening is that there is this kind of snowball effect. So you have a snowball bouncing down the hill, and then gradually it's becoming an avalanche. And this involves consciousness. It involves our species going into a you call it like a more advanced civilization, a kind of type 1 civilization, if you will. But the secret ingredient for evolving this way is consciousness, is rejection of materialism. So the more this information gets out, the more people individually wake up to their true potential, realizing that they are more than a bag of bones and a meat sack and some gray matter that may or may not be their entire existence. As long as people can wake up to that and begin having awareness of the way it really works, the sooner we will be on par with, like, I guess, some of these like extraterrestrial civilizations and species that are more advanced, because it's all based upon consciousness on those higher levels. And humanity is basically its own slave. Like, it's its own slave. Like, we are our own slave system. We have self-perpetuated it by looking at ideas like materialism, looking at ideas like consciousness does not matter. For that matter. Am I using matter too much? Matter is all that matters. People who think that matter is all that matters, they are creating that reality. And what it is, it's the most disempowering reality that any civilization can create. The point is, it doesn't matter if Jupiter and Saturn were lined up. I mean, we can look at that and say this is a sign of the times. What matters is that we reject materialism, that we expand our civilization in this way. And it is kind of a battle of philosophy, but a battle of the mind. So it's not a war, but it is a war of, it's not a war with guns, but it's a war of thought and ideas. And the internet has helped to get that snowball going, because people have access to information to learn about the real nature of reality. Without that, it's easy to get stuck in the existing paradigms, because we don't step out the door and have paranormal experiences happen to us. But we can have those experiences ourselves if we dedicate to it. That is where astral projection, for example, comes in. If we begin seizing control, if that lack of a better word, of our dreams, of our experiences, then we can begin opening doorways into other worlds and learning about our multidimensional aspects of ourselves. So that's almost the main point I want to get out there, which is that our destiny is not going to come down to a date, the Mayan calendar, December 21st, whatever it may be, because that would be the idea that there's an external force that's going to come in and save everybody. What do we hear this before? That's religious thinking. That's the idea of the rapture with a new type of wrapping paper around it. It has a different Christmas wrapping paper around it than before, but it's the same idea that an external force is going to come in and liberate all of us. So I don't think that's going to happen. But ultimately, what it comes down to on a practical level is rejecting materialism. Deciding that you as an individual, you're not going to live bound to those ideas. You're going to recognize that we are multidimensional beings. We exist on many different gradients of existence, many different levels. And that is the path forward. And that is the main idea I wanted to get out there in this video before it was, in the live stream, I should say, before it was cut off. But there are more questions that were asked that I would like to also address as well. There was one question, I don't think I got to this in the live stream, it concerned if we are free to live the lives we want to live on the astral side, or are we on some kind of a assembly line to have to go towards some enlightened state of consciousness if we're not ready for that yet. And really everything in existence is tailored to the individual. Your individual experience is what matters. It's what resonates with you. So again, certain belief systems and theologies on this world tries to put us on these paths, these systems where you have to do X, Y, Z and achieve this enlightened state of consciousness. But the ironic thing is you will not achieve an enlightened state of consciousness by forcing yourself to do the things that do not resonate with you, right? So if what resonates with you is you're a filmmaker, you love to create art, doing all these things that empower your individual existence, that's the thing that's screaming to get out. And this world often doesn't provide the abilities for people to achieve their artistic potential. The next side, the astral side, does. That's why those of us who do astral projection will find the other side is just filled with people doing art and engaged in all kinds of crazy creative endeavors. And there's so much of that because that is the opportunity, that is the place where it's done. And if anything leads toward some kind of enlightened state or higher astral plane of existence, it's pursuing those things and connecting with your individuality, not wiping your individuality out. It's the opposite. It's connecting with that artistic creative flow is actually your path to being in a more exalted state, if that's even what you want. So now we're going on to a couple different topics here. I just wanted to get some of that stuff out there for you guys who were watching the live stream and was disconnected again. Stay in touch on this channel and we'll try to do this again. Hopefully no negative entities hanging out in this weird old house in Tucson will come along and disconnect me again. So we'll try it again and see how it works. If you're new around here, this is Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, where we go into these types of topics. Thanks for watching. You can connect with me at the Facebook group Afterlife Topics and Metaphysics, or pick up a book like Understanding Life After Death, the Afterlife and Beyond. Subscribing to this channel really helps. If you take a second to go do that, I appreciate it. Or you can work with me personally, hang out in the Patreon group, or do consultation with me. All that is at the Patreon, patreon.com/afterlife topics. That's it for this video. I hope this was of some benefit. Again, sorry about the mishap, and I'll see you on the next video.